Skirt.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
So do we like that?
I did. I enjoy Ant-Man. Just fun, simple.
Yeah. I don't know if I liked it.
Why?
I don't know. The whole time I was sitting there and I was like, okay, yeah, this is happening. Yeah, okay. I don't think I have any major issues with it, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't. I was, I saw it and now it's done.
Yeah.
Now I can go on with my life. I don't. It's and maybe that's the good thing about Ant-Man is that it doesn't always have to be some huge world-ending deal.
Yeah, but there's literally no stakes in terms of like the world.
Right.
It was all personal.
It was two people were the only people that needed saved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was that. Maybe there wasn't enough stakes for me to care. Because if everything goes wrong at the end, then the person that everyone already thought was dead just stays dead, and this new villain, I guess, dies or whatever. So
sure.
Yeah, they didn't give me a lot of reason to care. Now, I do enjoy the whole Ant-Man thing.
Uh-huh.
Like him interacting with his buddies that now have the security agency. Their interaction,
which is called ex-con.
Ex-con, which is that's funny. Him and his daughter are adorable.
Yep.
I like just his goings on.
Yep.
This whole mission thing just really didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And then I think when you lean too heavily upon just here's the going, like a lot of this movie is just typical goings on.
Yeah.
And I think when you do too much of it, it becomes very cartoonish and cheesy in a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so I think it was almost too Ant-Man-y for me.
See, I love Ant-Man. I would watch a million Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
Even if there is no stakes, which even the first one didn't have any stakes really either. I mean, kind of did with I don't know the actor's name. But he was Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
He was gonna use it to create like an army. Basically, it was for just profit.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have advanced war and stuff. But I don't know. It's just fun, simple. It is almost like a cartoon. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon set in a movie, which I'm fine with. Because as a character, Ant-Man doesn't work for like the whole world saving stakes thing. He's just too. He really can't do a whole lot,
Right.
And his character is based in comedy, and that's it's really more of a comedy rooted in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to decide now if I like Ant-Man, because this was just so much Ant-Man. So he does really well in Civil War, where he's in there for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I thought the first Ant-Man had enough other things going on with the plot and stuff, and you're having to introduce everything and everybody.
Yeah.
So there was that. But just here's Ant-Man for 2 hours just really didn't. It's like you took Kyle Korver off of the Cavs, or you took take a role player off of the team and put him on his own, and it didn't. I don't know. It didn't do a lot for me, and I liked. Maybe I'm holding it to a high standard because of Marvel has done really well earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Ant-Man movies are completely different than any other Marvel movies because they're all. It's all just very. Even the first one too is like just a very in its own world, very separate, very. It's more comedy. Like I said, it's more of a comedy base. There's not like Guardians. You have your comedy stuff, but that's still more of a superhero epic than it is a space. That's more of like a sci-fi thing. Whereas this is just like the first one was more of a heist movie, and this one was just kind of a heist movie because they kept stealing stuff back and forth, but not really. I don't know. I think I don't take these movies seriously personally at all, because I know going in there's not going to be any stakes, and I just know they're going to be funny, which that's what they are, and I don't know, I like Ant-Man. He makes me laugh.
Yeah, he's good.
And he really didn't even do a whole lot in terms of action. He wasn't in the suit a lot.
That bummed me out a lot, because my favorite part of the first movie was how creative they got with combat.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't a lot of that here.
Well, you got more of the Wasp in this one, which she has more abilities and stuff than he does.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of her. And there's a lot of cool shrinking and growing and all that stuff going on.
What they had was really cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted more, I think. Like the Pez. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you knew as soon as you saw that thing that it was going to get thrown at somebody or make a fight or whatever.
Yeah, it was in the trailer too. So.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But that worked for me. That was very funny. I think Luis is the funniest part of this whole.
He's so funny.
He's the best part. He's my favorite part of this whole movie.
Yeah.
Just the way he like tells stories, and then they'll cut away, but they'll be talking like he talks.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me laugh every time. It was interesting how they tied in Infinity War.
Yeah. Now you know where he was.
Yeah, you know where he was.
Which is stuck in the realm.
They all got dusted, and he's stuck in the quantum realm, that's going to be interesting to figure out
How he gets out.
how he might get out.
So I don't know if he can just big himself like he did last time.
He can't.
Yeah.
He needs them to pull him out, which is a serious design flaw of that thing. But yeah, I don't think he can get out. But when he does get out, he's got all that quantum energy in
that's true.
in that thing. So that plus Michelle Pfeiffer being able to
She's dusted.
just fix. Well, whenever she gets undusted.
Okay.
There's some interesting. You never would have thought Ant-Man would be in the magic portion of the MCU. So
Yeah.
whatever he comes out and does with that quantum craft
Yeah.
could be kind of interesting.
I just love.
He did mention a time vortex too.
Yeah, which they can't get pulled out of. So he said he can't get out of there. So.
Right, but if it shot him through time, he would just go to a different time.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I enjoyed the tease. Although Marvel can eat a big bag of dicks with these last end of the credits things, because we sit there for 20 damn minutes watching all the credits so that we can watch, and it's an ant playing drums. Like,
Yeah.
Just switch the two.
Yep.
Put the ant playing drums at the beginning. Just make it worth it for me to sit there all that time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, I did like the first end credits though, how they tied into Infinity War. No, I just really enjoy all of the dynamics that these people have with each other. They've done a really good job of really building that chemistry with them, which is, you don't really have that with a lot of the other Marvel. Like, there's a ton of Marvel movies where the side characters are just useless, and I think they've done a good job in Ant-Man of really having all of them play a role, and like they're fun when they're in different combos.
Yeah.
You know, like Luis is fun when he's with Hank Pym, but he's also fun when he's with Evangeline Lilly. Van Dyne, he's also fun when he's with Scott. Like, you can plug these people in with each other, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, is I think they're just fun. These are fun, simple, funny movies. I mean, I probably didn't go 5 minutes without laughing, at least chuckling.
Yeah.
You know, in this movie. I think it just depends on how you look at it and go into it. Because I mean, I knew going in, I knew enough about the movie going into, like, it takes place before Infinity War and all that stuff. And it's more of a prequel to that. Not a prequel, it takes place in between those and all that stuff. And if you've seen the first Ant-Man, you know that it's going to be probably more basic comedy and all that.
I will disagree with you with the characters' chemistry on one account, and that's him and Hope.
Yeah, I like that.
I've never bought it. Not like the fact that they're in love with each other.
Yeah.
Never once bought it. In Ant-Man, it was like, in the first one, it was like one look that they gave each other, and then they kissed at the end. That was pretty much it. And now she hates him after he's been gone for 2 years, and then now they're going to be making out again. And I've just never bought that.
I like their dynamic.
I like the way they interact with each other and work together.
Yeah.
I don't buy them as a love couple at all. But on every other account, I'll agree with you. I do enjoy the way that different characters interacting with different people is pretty good here. What did you think of the villainy? There's kind of 3-ish villains in this. What did you think of them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably your problem with the movie, too. It's just, like, it was a weak villain.
Yeah.
And that didn't really have a whole lot to do in terms of driving the plot, I guess. I mean, there was a plot there, but it never felt, like you said, it never felt like the dire straits. I thought Ghost, the reason that she was doing what she was doing makes sense, but it was all just done very kind of side. She was just there to kind of stop. She basically was there, and then Walton Goggins, and then Randall Park, I guess. They were all there just to kind of slow them. They weren't, like, there was never any, like, you never thought they were going to lose. It was always just, like, another obstacle, you know? Whereas, like, with Infinity War or Black Panther, you know, like, they were always a formidable foe. You never felt like Ghost was that formidable.
No.
Or any of them.
And the Lawrence Fishburne, like, they weren't really evil at all.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Yeah, but like you said, I never thought they were gonna. There wasn't any.
Mm-hmm.
There are. In almost every other Marvel movie, there's a blue shell, right, where everything blows up, and you're like, oh crap, they're never gonna get this done.
Yeah.
But this was just bananas the whole time. Like, Walton Goggins shows up, and it's a banana, and then they go on. Like, maybe that was my problem with it. Like, it never, because I don't need it to have huge world-ending stakes or anything like that. But I need there to be some drama. There was no drama in this for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be a comedy and whatever, but there still should be some drama.
Yeah.
And the first one I thought had that.
A little bit, yeah.
So.
Yellow Jacket was kind of.
He was flat, but there still was.
Yeah, but he had a little more doom to him. He was a little more evil.
Yeah.
Like he killed people. He turned that one person into goop.
Yeah.
And then wiped him up with a napkin.
Yeah, he did goop that guy. That was pretty sweet.
And he never got a whole lot of murder or anything like that. I don't know. It's just a fun time. Like, at least you had fun watching it, right?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I enjoyed it like I enjoy an episode of Friends. Like, okay, now I'll go back to doing whatever else I was gonna do.
Yeah, it's not a movie that I'm gonna think about for days after, like, Infinity War, but it's it's just a fun time. I would watch, because they're simple to watch. I would watch 100 Ant-Man movies if they all kind of had that same formula.
Yeah, I think it's just a very easily it's candy.
Yeah.
Not very good candy, but
which is, after Infinity War, you almost need. Like, if you watch another, and especially coming up, you're again in a year, you're gonna have another pretty deep boom, type of crazy action movie. It's nice to have like a slower thing, because like at this point with Marvel movies anymore, there's almost it's a genre within itself, but then there's genres within the Marvel movies at this point, And I think Ant-Man's purpose is there just to kind of be a self-contained comedy type thing,
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough for that. I think that I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I think there's a point there for that. I think Black Panther served that role pretty well. It was pretty self-contained and told its own story.
Yeah, but that's not. Those are way different type of movies.
Right. So. That's what I'm saying, though. This is a movie. Black Panther is a movie about the Black Panther, and that's all. It's not a bunch of Avengers crap. Ant-Man can do that, but be better. You can't. That's the reason that. That's the reason, like, the Hulk hasn't. It's just not. It's just not quite good enough for it to really actually stand on its own. And I think that's the thing with me. It's like either be very good on your own, or tell me a bunch of MCU stuff I need to know. And this didn't really do either for me. And I enjoyed it just fine. I'm probably holding it to too high a standard because
I think you are.
But even for what you're telling me it's supposed to be, it wasn't that. Like, it wasn't so funny that I was like, oh, this is a great comedy. And there wasn't such great action where I was like, oh, there's cool action. It was just like C's across the board for me. But that's not to say I hated it. I just wish that it could have...
Sound like you do.
I know, because, I just wish it could have been more. I think it could have been better, and I wish that it was. So I'm a little disappointed in that, but in and of itself, I mean, yeah, I was like, okay, this is a movie. You know, so I don't actively dislike it. I just didn't like it very much. Kind of middle of the road for me.
Oh, I had a good time. It was fun. I like the characters. This is much more of a character-driven thing than it is anything else. Good time.
I would so disagree with you that the MCU at all is character-driven.
I think this Ant-Man in itself is just based off of. I mean, it's Ant-Man. These characters are way more entertaining than the actual plot. The first one is the same thing too.
I'll give you entertaining. I mean, there's not like there's any character arc or anything.
No,
like
but it's the movie is the movie itself is the characters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had fun. And you're not going to take that away from me, damn it.
I'm not trying.
Like you always do.